Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Tonight, I wanted to talk about something that I haven't seen too many times throughout my life, presenting role playing problems or issues. It's about the implied narrative within descriptions in tabletop RPGs. I think this video could also be useful for those that are just starting to roleplay in tabletop RPGs. And for those of you that already understand roleplay, perhaps it could help you to solidify your roleplay basics, potentially. In tabletop role-playing games, when you roleplay, the game master presents a situation, describes the situation, and the players, as their player characters, interact with the situation by describing their characters' actions and reactions within the game world, within the fiction. Clear enough. But how much is too much when it comes to description? Let me give you an example. And this is not like an info dump sort of situation. It's a bit more intricate, a bit more nuanced. Let's say you have your typical medieval fantasy situation. The adventurer is moving through the dungeon, moving down a corridor, and as the adventurer takes a right turn, just 5 feet in front of him, to his right, there is a wooden door on the right wall, similar, even identical to the other doors that have been encountered throughout the dungeon so far. Some players may decide to describe the action in a very detailed way. They take a few steps forward and open the wooden door, or even more detailed, I take a few steps forward and take the handle, the doorknob of the wooden door and open it. Fine. But there could be some players that could simply describe, I open the wooden door. So it is implied that by describing that your character is opening the wooden door, you have taken the necessary steps to get close to the door. You have taken the door by the handle and or the doorknob, and you are opening the door. Perfect. Unless you plan to bash the door in, like use your warhammer to destroy it, or shoulder barge your way into the room by destroying the door, or perhaps you want to use your a mage hand sort of spell to open the door from a distance, or maybe some sort of telekinesis or some other unorthodox method. Unless you want to employ such methods, you don't actually need to be so detailed when it comes to your description. This also applies, for example, in city adventures. You are looking for a missing person, John Doe. You're looking for John Doe. It is perfectly permissible for you to describe that you are searching around the entire east sector, northeast sector of the city, knocking on people's doors, asking about John Doe, if they have seen John Doe. With that, it is implied that your character is walking up to the doorsteps of the different houses, knocking on their doors and asking if they have seen John Doe. So this is a great way to describe the various actions and reactions without falling too much into details. It's all about your preference. Although it is important to consider that if you are moving through a dangerous environment, you might either want to add a bit more details to the action or avoid taking that action altogether. If you're in a dungeon that is plagued with traps and magical effects, might as well describe the way that you open the door in the most detailed way possible, right? Trying to avoid triggering traps. If you have seen that every time somebody takes the doorknob with his or her bare hand, they get electrocuted or something, you might wish to use some other thing, right? Perhaps use some sort of spell that disables the effect before, or search for the mechanism with your thief's tools to see if you can disable that electrifying effect. In the case of the city, if you're moving through a very dangerous area of the city, perhaps you can describe that you have your knife at the ready in your belt, that you are ready to draw the knife in case of danger, or that you are constantly looking over your shoulder. If you are traveling in a group, you could say that you're the members of the party, that you keep them behind you, and you tell them that to please watch his or her back as he's asking about John Doe, right? So take the necessary precautions. In other words, you could say that in most cases, simple descriptions come with the implications that you are walking, moving, taking action to accomplish what you have described without having to describe all of those different actions and sub actions connected to whatever it is you are trying to carry out, what you are trying to attempt. But when caution is necessary, definitely put that extra emphasis on the detailed moves that you are taking. Just take a look at my actual plays in the front of my channel. Take a look at the current Asteria campaign. The group is very cautious. Really, really good maneuvers, tactics, strategies employed. Being very careful when navigating hostile environments, both within the city, outside of the city, within the dungeons. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative and entertaining. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the... No, I've already said that, right? Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role-playing games, you are not having a conversation about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.